Welcome back, listeners, to The Deep Dive. You know how this works. We take one topic and we really get into it.
That's right, one topic, deep dive.
And the topic for today's deep dive is E.B. White's Charlotte's Web.
A classic.
We've got an excerpt from the book, and we're going to explore why this story about a pig and a spider.
An unlikely pair.
Exactly. Why does it still speak to people, even after all these years? So what is it about Charlotte's Web that keeps you coming back for more, huh? What do you hope to discover in this deep dive with us?
Well, I think it's just amazing how Charlotte's Web takes on these big ideas, like death and friendship, and it does it in such a straightforward way that anyone can understand.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really pretty profound.
It is. And even grown-ups can read it and find something new every time.
I agree.
The book starts with Fern, a little girl. She finds out her father is going to kill Wilbur, the runt of the litter, and she's not having it.
Oh, she puts her foot down.
Right away, you can tell that this book is going to be about empathy and respecting all life, even the small and weak.
It's powerful. That first scene really sets the tone for the whole book.
It does. So, Fern, she saves Wilbur.
Right.
But he's still a pig.
Yeah.
Right. So he ends up at her uncle's farm.
The barn. It's like a whole other world.
It is. Packed with all sorts of characters, all these animals that shape Wilbur's life. But even though there's a lot going on, Wilbur still feels alone. He wants a real friend.
I think we can all relate to that, can't we?
Absolutely.
That need to belong, to have someone who gets you. That's what drives Wilbur to become friends with Charlotte, the spider who lives in his pen.
Right. At first, he's scared of Charlotte. Thinks she's this bloodthirsty creature.
Oh, the typical spider stereotype.
But she becomes his most loyal friend. And the way E.B. White takes this creature that we normally think of as, well, kind of creepy.
I know, right?
And he turns her into this symbol of intelligence and friendship. It's just brilliant.
It really is. And she saves him. She uses her webs to write messages.
Some pig. Terrific.
Changing everyone's view of Wilbur just with words. It shows how powerful language can be. It shapes how we see things. It can even change what happens.
And the way Charlotte dedicates herself to Wilbur.
Unbelievable.
She knows her time is running out. She's getting ready to lay her eggs. But she uses all her energy to make sure he stays alive.
There's this part where she sings him a lullaby. She's exhausted. It hints that she's not going to make it.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes you think about sacrifice, the things we do for the people we love, and how that changes as we get older.
And then you've got Templeton, the rat.
Cynical little guy.
Oh, yeah. All he cares about is himself, but somehow he ends up helping Wilbur.
Always looking for a free meal.
I know. But it makes you think even selfish actions can have a good outcome sometimes.
It's true. Intentions aren't everything, I guess. Sometimes good things come from unexpected places.
That's Charlotte's Web all over. It makes you think about life in new ways.
And appreciate the unlikely friendships we make along the way. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, if you do something good, but you're only doing it for yourself, does it still count?
That's a great question. And then there's the county fair. It's where Wilbur's fate is decided, but it's also like a mini version of the real world.
Yeah.
You see how people judge others based on how they look.
Well, totally. Like, compare Wilbur to Uncle, the pig who wins all the prizes.
Right.
Uncle is all about size and awards, so shallow.
Yeah.
But Wilbur, even though he's famous now as some pig, he stays humble.
He does.
It reminds us that what really matters is on the inside, not the outside.
And the way E.B. White describes the fair, all the sights and sounds and smells, you feel like you're right there with Wilbur.
You can practically taste the cotton candy.
I know. And all the time, Charlotte's working, spinning her webs, writing those powerful words.
Amazing how much she believes in him, She's changing what it means to be a pig.
And then she lays her eggs. She knows she's not going to live much longer.
Ugh, that part always gets me.
It's so beautiful and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
It shows how life goes in circles and the sacrifices parents make for their kids and how even the strongest bonds can't last forever. It's part of life.
And Wilbur, he's so scared at first. But then he understands, he accepts it. He gets the connection between life and death.
He does.
It's pretty deep for a pig, if you ask me.
Right, and he promises to take care of her egg sac, to keep her memory alive.
That's true love. He sees the beauty in what she's leaving behind.
E.B. White doesn't shy away from tough stuff like death. He talks about it honestly, but in a way that's comforting too.
Like, death isn't the end. It's just a change, a part of a natural order that makes new life possible.
Exactly. And then spring comes. Charlotte's babies hatch. It feels so hopeful.
New beginnings. Life goes on even after loss. And those new generations, they carry the memories and lessons of those who came before.
And Wilbur, he's not the same helpless little pig anymore. He's grown up.
He's learned so much.
He's become this wise and caring friend looking after Charlotte's kids. You see how friendship can change you, how your experiences make you who you are. Yeah, that's powerful.
The excerpt ends on a kind of bittersweet note, right?
Really.
We're happy for Charlotte's babies, but she's gone. There's a hole in Wilbur's life.
I know.
But 3 of the little spiders stay with Wilbur. It's like a little spark of hope.
Oh, that's sweet. It shows new friendships can grow even when we've lost someone. That connection keeps going.
And it reminds us that some relationships may end, but what we learn from them stays with us, shapes who we are, how we treat others.
It's true.
This excerpt, it's just a taste of what Charlotte's Web has to offer.
There's so much more.
E.B. White is a master storyteller.
Oh, absolutely. The way he combines humor and sadness and those deep insights into what it means to be human, it's a masterpiece.
It is. And it's more than just a kid's book. It's for everyone. The themes, love, loss, friendship, what it means to die, it all speaks to us no matter how old we are.
Every time you read it, you get something different out of it. It's amazing.
So what hit you the hardest in this excerpt? What did you learn about friendship? About sacrifice? About life and death? Maybe you want to reread the whole book now.
Yeah.
Or check out some other books by E.B. White.
Tell us what you think. Share your thoughts online or with a friend.
And don't forget, you can buy a copy of Charlotte's Web using the link in the show notes.
Keep those conversations going.
We'll be back in a bit to wrap up our deep dive into the world of Wilbur and Charlotte.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Charlotte's Web, it's pretty clear why this story about a pig and a spider has stuck with readers for so long. It's more than just a sweet story.
Right, it makes you think. It's about life and death and the connections we make.
It is. And the way E.B. White can write about these huge ideas, but make them easy to understand, that's what's so amazing.
Totally. He uses these farm animals to make us think about the big questions. It's like wisdom can come from anywhere.
And one thing that really stood out to me is how important it is to see things from different points of view.
To, like, challenge what we think we know.
Exactly. And see the value in everything, everyone.
Charlotte is the perfect example. We think spiders are scary, but she turns out to be this loyal friend, a genius, and she's amazing with words.
She really is.
She makes us rethink everything we thought about spiders, about nature.
Yeah. And Templeton, that selfish rat, he shows us that even the characters we don't like can be important.
You'd never think he'd do anything good. But he helps Wilbur, even if it's for the wrong reasons.
Right. And it makes you wonder, does it matter why you do something good, as long as the outcome is good?
That's a tough question.
It is. Charlotte's Web doesn't give us easy answers. It just makes us think.
It does. And the way it shows how life goes in cycles, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
Charlotte knows she's going to die. Her babies are born. It's like endings can be beginnings too.
Yeah.
And Wilbur, he starts off helpless, but he grows up.
He becomes his caring friend, taking care of Charlotte's kids.
It's like he's carrying on her legacy.
He is. It shows how much friendship can change you, how much we learn from the people we love. This excerpt, it's just a small part of Charlotte's Web.
There's so much more to discover.
So much. It's full of great characters, touching moments, and ideas that never get old.
Charlotte's Web. It's proof that stories have power. It shows us what friendship really means. And it reminds us to find beauty in the simple things.
If you want to rediscover the whole story or check out other books by E.B. White, go for it. There's a link to buy Charlotte's Web in the show notes.
And tell us what you think. Share your thoughts online. Talk to a friend.
We love hearing from you.
Keep exploring those stories that touch your heart and help you understand the world a little better.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Wilbur and Charlotte.